Welcome back to Quinte Connection. Thanks for joining us. Great to have the Quinte Ballet School of Canada on the show, talking more about their Dancing with Their Parkinson's program. Joining us now, the Executive Director of Community Development Council of Quinte, known as CDC Quinte. Ruth Ingersoll, a longtime member of this show. We had Ruth on for years, retired at the end of 2024. We wish her all the best. And taking over the head role for CDC Quinte is Leah Greenwood. So Leah, so great to meet you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
How did you come around to CDC Quinte? What was your previous positions?
Well, I came from Toronto, so I moved to the county about 2.5 years ago. But my background in the last 5 years was running an arts charity for youth who had dropped out of school. My background is extensive in the not-for-profit sector, but the last one was 5 years in a arts charity.
Oh, wow. Must be really interesting, rewarding work. I mean, with CDC Quinte, there's so much to tackle with, right? So what attracted you to kind of taking this position with CDC Quinte?
Interestingly, it was I'm living across the street at one of the county food hubs in Sophiasburg in Prince Edward County, and I got a real passion for the issue that 25% of the people in our population here are struggling with food security. And in a country like ours, that should not happen. And fortuitously, it happened that Ruth decided that it was time to retire, and the spot came open. And I don't know if they were crazy enough to hire me or if they were lucky enough to find me. I'm not quite sure. But our worlds aligned, and here I am today. And it's been an eye-opener to understand the issue in Hastings and Prince Edward counties, that it's 1 in 4.
Yeah. And we're glad to have you on here, Leah, with all your expertise, because as Ruth Ingersoll would say to us in the past, we've got these multi-million-dollar mansions in Prince Edward County, more and more people moving in with a lot of wealth, but yet there's so much food insecurity. Food deserts come to mind, Madoc, Marmora, the Highway 7 corridor.
Yeah.
So what are you and your team doing for May? Because I understand it's always quite busy with community gardens and everything else like that.
Well, community gardens certainly is something that we're excited to be launching. We've got 159 of them in the county, or in Hastings. So in May, our first kickoff really is on May 3rd and 4th in Foxborough. The Big Red Barn Spring Craft Show has dedicated their door entry fee as a donation to the Community Development Council, which is huge. And so that's operating for 2 days. And then we've got on May 3rd, we have at the Prince Edward County Center, the Family Information Event, where we're promoting our food boxes and our baby boxes. And then Mother's Day, May 10th, we're at the Quinte West Community Connections Expo, as well as we're doing a garden market at the Garden Square or Market Square in Belleville, where we're actually selling plants and seeds and things like that to really promote our gardens and bring attention to the gardens, because there's still some spots available if anybody's interested in a community garden. And then all the way up until the end of May, we're at the Prince Charles Public School, where we're doing an event also promoting Baby Box and Food Box. So the staff is out and about, and I'm very humbled by the fact that they're dedicating their weekends to promoting our initiatives.
Yeah, thanks, Leah. There's so much happening. For community gardens, lots of beds across the city of Belleville. I believe there's one in Frankfurt. Correct me if I'm wrong here. But
we are. Frankfurt,
yeah.
We're excited. We're actually moving our beds from a kind of an abandoned area to an apartment complex. And in appreciation for them giving us some land for our gardens, we're going to be building some beds for them. For the seniors that are there. So the community participation is great.
Thanks, Leah. Yeah, especially with, these economic times and everything else like that. I mean, what are you and the team really talking about these days with the good food boxes? Because it's such an essential service, especially for many people that just their budget can't stretch that much, right?
So in the last 3 months, we've done, close to 2,000 food bags that have gone out. orders keep coming in. I mean, what the hard part that I'm really seeing is that we're with the food deserts, that you mentioned, is people can't afford the gas to come into the local sites where the pickup is. And so that's a challenge. And so we're creatively trying to figure out, and the board has to align with us, certainly with strategic planning. Is there a way that we can get a mobile truck or a mobile market that goes around? Because there are so many of these locations in this vast space that people just can't get to get their produce.
Yeah, and you raise an interesting point. If you're struggling, you have the privilege of having a vehicle. Oftentimes, that's one of the first things to go, right? And then regional transportation. You and I can talk all day about regional transportation in the Bay of Quinte outside of Belleville. It can be tough.
Absolutely, absolutely. Transportation in and of itself is a 2-hour show.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Well, on a positive note, Leah, for folks who want to volunteer, they want to give some cash your way, they want to participate in the craft show and the fundraiser, where can they go for all the information?
They can go to our website. All of the information will be available on our website if it isn't already. For volunteering, we always welcome volunteers in many capacities, whether it's helping at the food packing site or helping in the office. Sometimes we just need people to come in to help put our diapers into packages. We do need that. So there's always a spot for somebody as long as they want to belong with us. Not for us, but with us, because we all pitch in and work together. But all that information will be on our website. And also stay close to our social media, because we've got some Mother's Day raffles coming up on our social media. So we want everybody to stay tuned to see what's coming and what's going to be available. We're very appreciative of many of our donors and the local businesses that provide us with stuff that we can share with the community.
Well, Leah, thanks so much for joining us. Real pleasure to meet you. Hopefully you come back on the show a little later and give us an update on all this. But it's so nice to kind of raise awareness again about CDC Quinte and all the many problems we have to get through together.
Thank you for aligning with us, and thank you for supporting us. And I welcome the opportunity to come back anytime.
Thanks, Leah.